Hello everyone, welcome back to the Overwatch Open presented by FACEIT and ELEAGUE. I am Ask Joshy, casting once again with Jorisar. Hope you guys are enjoying the games so far. We're right in the middle of a series between ALGAE and Northern Gaming. ALGAE perhaps a little bit of an upset in that first map. I think Northern Gaming has the more recognizable name and pedigree throughout Overwatch's release, but they're down a map right now, and this is just a best of 3 series.
Exactly right. They are a little bit on the ropes right now, perhaps not expecting to quite be taken to task the way that ALGAE managed to do it for them. But then again, I also wasn't expecting to see a Pharah on both sides of the equation on map number 1 on King's Row. A lot of things were quite interesting about that previous map. It feels like throughout the entire duration of having those Pharahs there was maybe one instance where Pharah looked a little bit silly because Dogman picked Pharah out of the sky really quickly.
Both Wolf and Dogman.
But if you think about it, there was maybe a 10 or 20 second period during that game where we did see that happen. And for the rest of the games, Pharah, there were periods where she was actually just left unchecked. Are we just underestimating Pharah, and is she coming back?
It's interesting because it's all about the map. First of all, the streets phase of King's Row is really great because she has so much cover. She has a lot of line of sight cover during that streets phase, and it's interesting that actually the attacking team swapped off Pharah on the last point while the defending team swapped onto Pharah. So definitely the terrain makes a huge difference. Reaper is a character that you're going to see much more often just across the board, but there are a couple of places, perhaps Hollywood streets phase as well could come into play. Numbani, point A could actually be a point that we see her come out as well, and Numbani is going to be our next map. ALGAE versus Northern Gaming. ALGAE already up 1-0. This is just the round of 16. They've still got quite a long ways to go. Yep. We still got some very scary teams out there left. I was tweeting before the matches today, I don't know who's going to win this week. We had Envy and Cloud9. Those are kind of the safe bets in the first 2 weeks. Now we've got TSM still out there. We've got NRG, Team Liquid, and obviously Northern Gaming and ALGAE trying to make their cases, but lots and lots of strong teams still out there in North America.
Yeah, any of those teams can realistically take the top spot this week. We'll have to see which one of them comes through here. But first, we move on to Numbani, where ALGAE are looking to defend a 1-0 lead and cruise through by a scoreline of 2-0 into the round of 8. In their way are Northern Gaming, of course, who will want to make sure that we go all the way to a third map. Maybe a little bit of an upset in map number 1, and they will be keen to stop the run.
And I did forget one org in that list is Fnatic, of course, who have actually been playing quite well. They actually qualified for the other tournament this week, ESL's
yes,
Atlantic.
They did, the Atlantic Showdown. Yeah.
They definitely could be rearing their heads in the semifinals tomorrow as well. But ALGAE and Northern Gaming here in front of us are a pretty close match. This is not one of those round of 16 matches where it's just NRG dumping on some poor unsuspecting team. This one actually is very even, in my opinion. So ALGAE taking the first map, I would not be surprised at all to see Northern Gaming get it together here. Mini already taking a bunch of damage from Junkrat, has to hop back and grab that full heal, but normally you're going to see them all... What? Bot Dog, man. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Anyway,
nope,
I don't know what's taking them so long to push in here. What's going on? Your time is ticking away. This is stopwatch.
Dogman, I feel like... I don't know if Dogman dropped and then popped on back, because
Possibly.
he actually lagged behind.
They're all
I
sitting there.
I briefly saw him as an X, and then he moved back up here. But you're right, 3 minutes, 22 seconds now. You'd expected to have seen some sign of the other team, and Northern Gaming are standing here going, guys, what's going on?
Oh,
and here
Winston.
we go.
Winston makes the engage from behind. That's probably... I mean, that's a lot of time to burn. I cannot imagine that was actually their initial... if Dogman did
I think
DC
Dogman
or something like that,
lagged, yeah.
it does explain it, but that was just a very interesting first attack. Mini actually managed to survive. Their Guts is the first one down. Dogman on the point here for ALGAE, actually getting a lot of shots in. Ned goes down, Wolf goes down, and suddenly Redix for nap time falls shortly after everything looking good for the offense. And even though they stalled out for that first 30 seconds, again, not really 100% sure what was going on. Everything worked out for them in the end, and they are going to cap A in a pretty swift time, 1 minute 15 seconds. Keeping in mind 30 of it was burned just sitting there is still pretty impressive.
Dogman was definitely making up the lost time there. I think it was a lag spike that kept him back in spawn for the first 10-15 seconds of the game. But that's all sorted now, and the teams are on the move. Like you say, Joshy, it was a reasonably swift time here from ALGAE. So now Northern Gaming are going to be holding the next checkpoint. Now, interestingly, they haven't gone up the dogleg yet. We're looking to see whereabouts we're going to be moving on. It looks like the flanking maneuver to head onto this road is where they want to be setting up their defense. This does give us a little bit more room to see ALGAE in terms of flanks. They might be looking to send someone off to the right-hand side there. We'll wait and see. But so far, teams just gathering up behind Reinhardt. We've got the Transcendence to start things off, and Dogman getting a double kill from above very early on in this engagement. Wolf and Mangachu both going to go down there, and D.Va trying to pick him up but unable to do so. That is an excellent start to the engagement for ALGAE.
Dogman performing very well again. That King's Row was a great match for him, and now here on Numbani, he has taken care of business once again. D.Va even got in his face, and he still managed to live with 70 health, roll away in time, and rejoin his team. Everything going the way of ALGAE. I cannot actually believe that Northern Gaming is falling apart so quickly, and it did dawn on me during the previous game who Guts is actually replacing. It's Chance that we're not seeing here, and
right,
Chance was just such a staple for that team as a main tank, so I'm very curious if Chance has been replaced or if a substitute was needed for this event, something like that, but I'm sure we will find out in time. Dogman moving forward here as McCree. Wolf with the defensive Deadeye ready to go. Of course, you do need to, always need to deal with the D.Va in this case, because defensive Matrix can eat a Deadeye very easily. There is that D.Va ultimate going out, gets a kill on Bread Expert in the end there. Wolf still has that Deadeye available, but flashes himself against the deflect from Hui. Hui doing a great job as well. Whole Hog here from Mangachu doesn't have many targets. That was kind of a self-defense maneuver, and the payload is still just pushing like crazy. Defense, where are you? You need to get on that payload.
It's not stopping. ALGAE are looking to create a ridiculous time for themselves, and it looks like Mangachu getting the kill on Dogman at the same time as the reciprocal, and this payload is about to complete. Wolf trying to defend a little bit. We've got Guts on there at the moment, so that's going to be a big body in the form of Reinhardt.
Wow.
Ned on D.Va flying in, not going to be in time. 5:30 still left on the clock at that point. ALGAE complete here. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Not the fastest time you've ever seen on Numbani, but pretty darn close.
Fastest time we've seen today is the other one was 3:33, right, in the European region. So that's a new record for the day, and Dogman, of course, a big part of that, even though they took 30 seconds before even moving.
This is what I don't get.
They said a 3-minute, 30-second time. That's actually crazy. So ALGAE definitely impressing here. Dogman and Hui both just taking care of business. B-Drop with a nice ult to set them up on that last point was all they needed. Wolf couldn't get anything going for himself.
So what we're really saying here is that due to technical issues, that time was above 3 minutes.
Yes.
Wow.
had he actually been there, and 3:29 with 3:29 actually the time to
that
beat.
might be true.
Who knows? They could have set a sub 3-minute time on Numbani, which
I think the fastest I've ever
impressive.
seen was Reunited 2:45.
I think so, yeah, something like that. I agree. Reunited have had some very stunt-worthy pushes in their day. Not so much recently, as Europe has caught up to them quite a bit, but
this could end up being a very, very quick best of 3. Now, Northern Gaming, we need to see some heroics from them. 3 minutes and 29 seconds is an incredibly blistering time here, and they're down 1-0.
It's demoralizing.
It is really demoralizing. They have to pull something extra special out of the bag right now. If Northern Gaming are able to do this, and they bring themselves back into this best of 3 series by beating 329 on Numbani, it's going to be an incredible comeback story for them. They need to steel themselves. They need to make sure that they're ready for this, and they're not falling apart going, oh God, how am I going to do this? They have to believe right now, because that is the only way, the absolute only way they're going to be able to get through this.
Interesting here, Ned is going to be playing the Genji. He is similar to Wolf, always playing McCree. Ned has always had the soft spot, actually for McCree as well, but when you've got a team with 2 very good McCrees, one of you has to play Genji.
Oh,
and
that's
Ned
the Jackie view.
Has a lot of the experience there. I remember Valutaja and Too Easy on the same team was like, okay, who's going to get the McCree?
Yep.
But either way, Mangachu is going to be playing that Roadhog, another very good DPS player. Makes sense to have him on the DPS tank. Roadhog basically an analog for Reaper. No Reaper here.
Nice.
Oh, on D.Va does pull her in immediately. The fly away does actually end up losing the mech in the long run, but offense looking pretty good. No, never mind. Dogman getting a kill there. Actually a second onto Wolf, and defense holding strong. Guts actually flies off the edge. I'm not sure if it was deliberate to rejoin his teammates or what. It does appear that way now as the rest of the team follows suit, but ALGAE with 1 solid defense actually makes this almost impossible to finish the map on time.
That was actually the wipe that may or may not have just won them the game here, because what are you going to do? You actually have to physically finish the map in 2.5 minutes at this point. The first point hasn't even been taken yet. Everyone is coming out from Northern Gaming. ALGAE, they're going to try and finish the game right here, right now. Wolf takes out Dogman before the ultimate can land. So that's a great start for them. But 2 members of ALGAE, now 3 down, but so too for Northern Gaming. And Hui at the moment with the chopping, with the slicing and dicing, it's going to be able to try and hold this even longer. And I fear this is the end. GG's ALGAE. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, that's the demoralizing part. You get held one time on A, and it's like, well, I guess we're packing it in after the single attack, and that's just a terrible feeling. Ned did have the Desperation Dragon Blade there at the end, but as soon as that started to whiff, we knew that was all over, and we've got basically a lot of time to kill now. That was a super fast series. Once again, we saw earlier in the day, it was Ninjas in Pajamas versus We United, where we saw a very similar, speed run version of King's Row. But Numbani here for ALGAE, very impressive stuff from a team that honestly has not posted a ton of results before.
Well, before the start of the game as well, we were going, oh, We United, they've been performing solidly. They're a very good team, and they are a very good team. And I would say similarly in this case, we had Northern Gaming, good pedigree, strong results in Overwatch so far. We are doing reasonably well. And then ALGAE, out of nowhere, absolutely blitzed them apart 2-0. Could you have convinced us before the match that it would have been close and ALGAE might be able to take the series? Sure.
Of course.
Could you have told me it would have been 2-0 with a basically 3-minute time on Numbani? Nope.
I would not have bet on such a thing, and I know that we have another betting man joining us. It's Alex Machine Richardson.
I have never placed a bet ever. Do you know that?
What?
Yeah.
I lied. You made a liar
I'm not
out
a
of me.
betting man.
Why not?
Just gambling
Risk
doesn't appeal
averse?
to me. Not a fan of gambling. Don't like to take. I mean, I like to take gambles. Don't like gambling. Don't feel like you're ever going to win.
We went gambling this week. It was fun.
Every week I don't buy a lottery ticket.
Yep.
I win.
Oh,
It's an extra pound in my pocket.
You could have won more. Substantially more.
But I mean, I'd probably have won about for the 500 times that I played. I didn't play. I've got £500, and I probably would have won maybe once.
All right, that's a very wussy way to look at it.
I'm a horrible human being. Absolutely horrible human being. But gents, we should reflect for a moment again about another ridiculously fast game. We said this before, like you've said it beautifully, John, that we didn't expect this from the first time we saw it today. Like, we have been treated like this Saturday has just been stompy, but inexplicably so. I mean, we know NG are a competent team. To see ALGAE just, I mean, I was surprised when people were like, "Yeah, you might want to head in." I was like, "No,
what?
we don't."
No, it's only been like 5
minutes.
What are you
talking the second half has just started,
Yeah.
but that's because they set such a quick time. What was it exactly? It was like 3 minutes, just over.
3:29,
and that was with what we think was a lag spike,
Yeah.
stopping Dogman for the first 20 to 30 seconds of that match.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I mean, like, have you seen times like that before? And you've casted a whole lot of Numbani, casted a whole lot of Overwatch. Like, how often do these crop up in your casts?
Very few sub 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I would,
in 10?
probably can count them on both hands, I think, over the course of all of closed beta and release. So
there you go. That puts it into perspective
Yeah.
that you've seen two games sub 4 minutes in, 1 day of Overwatch. This has been an absolute blast. Are there any closing thoughts then for Northern Gaming? This is the first time they've cropped up in the Overwatch Open, first time that they have been broadcast. Any takeaways? I mean, it's hard to find any kind of silver lining, I guess, when you concede a loss like that.
They did get blitzed down, but again, they are playing with some fairly new members. We mentioned before that Bird was the word, no longer the word. Ned is an apt replacement normally, but just I don't know if it's the whole team, individual performances. It's hard to keep track of all 12 players, but on the whole, I think Guts and Ned not performing as strong as Bird and Chance did in their heyday.
Yeah, Dead.
Ned
Ned did seem to lose his head, was what I was trying to say.
Nice.
There you go.
And, indeed, I mean, my mistake was right. He did end up dead. That was the end of that. John, on the other side, we get to see more of ALGAE. Now, this is an interesting discussion because we've been talking and just kind of, I don't know how much we've done it on air, but we've been talking about the teams that haven't found an organization yet.
Sure.
These are one of them. You said already that, yes, there is not many left, but where do they stand on the remaining yet to be picked up teams? I mean, they've already proven that they can climb through. Do you think they have to succeed in this bracket before organization offers start landing in their inbox?
So this is what's really fun. If you asked me before the start of this series, where do these guys lie in the pecking order of the remaining teams? I would have said, well, they're pretty good. They're definitely at least mid-tier. They're on the up. And all of a sudden, after that best of 3, we're looking at them going, hang on a second, we need to take these guys pretty seriously.
We'll see.
And I quite like that idea. I also do like the fact that they're holding out a little bit because at the end of the day, organizations come and go. It's the core of the players that are going to matter in the team sport. So for all I know, they have an offer on an organization on the table. I wouldn't know, but the point is they are now in a position where they can wait to see what's right for them. And I love the fact that some of them are basically team housing together at the moment. It would be great to get all 6 of them there, because ultimately having 6 there is better than twice as much as having 3, right?
Yeah,
But
I mean, did you
they're
see the
doing the right
comment from
things.
Mini?
No.
I was
What was
just
that?
scrolling through his Twitter, and he was like, God, you wouldn't believe it, guys. 200 ping is so much different to 20 ping.
Oh my.
And I was like, I mean, I
figure.
believe it, Mini. Actually, like, that's very easy to believe. So he's obviously just gone from having 200 ping playing Reinhardt to 20. He's like, wow, this is a lot easier
This
to
is so
play
much
this.
better.
This
This
is
is
incredible. That's like the switch when you go from like kind of 30 hertz to 144, and you're just
Oh,
like,
man.
my eyes are amazing. That's an awesome feeling. You know what else was amazing? Was our amazing play. In fact, excuse me, the wrong word. Incredible. Incredible play of the game brought to you by ROG, Republic of Gamers. This one features McCree, someone who does crop up quite often in our plays of the game. Looking forward to seeing who does feature. We got to see Dogman wielding it on one side, and on the other, we'll get to see just how powerful he was with McCree. It was none other than Wolf. You guys were singing his praises, and you got to see a very influential Deadeye. Look at this. Bodies just hitting the deck, mowed him down, 3 quick kills, and I believe I saw a Reinhardt shield just fading as he threw them bullets towards that dog leg. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy for Wolf. I mean, was he probably an MVP to highlight? I think you guys were talking a lot about him. What were your words? It made me really laugh, Joshy. You were like, oh, my main man, or something.
yeah, my
I was
boy.
like, that's
My
so
boy,
out
Wolf.
of character.
Wolf is my boy. Actually,
boy?
Ned is my boy too. But Spo, Cyberbob, I got lots of boys out there.
It's my boy.
Yeah.
My boy.
He's my boy.
My boy Wolf.
should stop.
I'm sure he'll get a kick out of that watching the VOD later as some consolation for being blitzed down by CLG. But yeah, I've been playing with a lot of these guys, since Beta 1, and it's a lot of fun seeing them competing. I have no aspirations myself of trying to do that.
I think you're better off here. We like you
Yeah,
here.
I'm having fun.
Hang around.
I think I'm having more fun than my boy Wolf right now.
Oh, every time just takes me by surprise. All right, let's get ready for a quick break. When we do come back, guys, you get Liquid versus Splice. Liquid have been all over the Overwatch Open, and hopefully we'll see them rise through the ranks once again. Standing in their way is Splice. We'll be seeing them as their debut here on the broadcast, and we'll be watching all of that in just a moment.